Yesterday we spent the morning at Knepp in West Sussex, which is an estate which is now famous for being a large rewilding project, experiment. It's a really fascinating place. I visited this time last year and told Al all about it, and I said we had to go back, and so we were really, really pleased that we got to go just before the autumn really kind of gets going here. On the Knepp estate there's Knepp Castle, which is the family home, the private home where the family still lives, and next door they have a walled garden.
I'm Charlie Harper, I'm the head gardener here at Knepp in West Sussex.
Can you tell us a little bit about the walled garden at Knepp?
So it's just over an acre in size, and just over 4 years ago, one massive croquet lawn, in one half of it anyway, the bigger half. Given that Knepp is the home to the largest lowland rewilding project in the UK, quite antithetical. The sort of habitats that were being created and very dynamic out there, we were still having this perfectly rolled, mown, croquet playing surface. And we know that in nature, the landscape isn't completely uniform. So we rootled it like a big old pig. We have created a diverse range of habitats to grow a diverse range of plants to hopefully support as much wildlife as we can. We, the gardeners, are the herbivores, and we mimic the same sort of disturbance we see out there to create a dynamic kaleidoscope of different habitats. So it's a really exciting experiment, and it's probably not what people would think rewilding is when they walk through the door. Gardens they're unique, very domestic contexts. Gardens are by their nature human made and human cared for, so it takes a lot of thinking outside the box.
We've got too much to talk about because we feel like there's so many parallels and threads and so many moments yesterday when we were talking to Charlie, and also when I was reading Isabella's book. I think it's one of those places that just really, really makes you think. There's this constant kind of evaluation between things that are beautiful and things that have ecological value. You know, they monitor all the plants and they see what self-sows and they see what's eating what, essentially, and then they kind of rate it in terms of like, well, what value is this adding? We evaluate things on cutting. Is it good in a naturalistic garden setting to have these? Are they feeding pollinators? Are they giving us ground cover or whatever? But also, can we cut from them? Like, that's our value system.
The idea with these Arranging the Garden videos is to take inspiration in some way from the gardens that we visit, bring those back into the studio in London or our little garden cabin here, and make something using inspiration from that particular place. They have this way of tying roses, and we talked to Charlie about it.
So we get a lot of seedling roses. They've turned up around the garden. If we let them, they would just trail everywhere, probably trip people up. We know that they are very good for things like flower and then fruit. I mean, the rose hips at the moment, really, really good. So in some areas we've grazed them, browsed them quite hard. They prolifically flower, and then you get a prolific display of fruit as well. Others we have contorted to strange shapes, tied them and made interesting shapes. And others, as you say, we've used to stake other plants, making use of that opportunity.
I think that's fantastic. I've never seen that before, and that's inspired me. Can I try and do that?
Oh, great. That is really the importance of gardeners, I think, because it's that artistic intuition. And for us, we refer to that as a cue to care. We are making it known that we've done this intentionally, and that is how you make a garden much easier to read. People are quite afraid of wild gardens because they think they're going to be messy, but it's that artistic nod to intent that makes everyone relax.
There are so many weeds that we have here in the garden when they're in season or when they're in flower or they're at a particular stage. With their seed heads, we incorporate them into the recipes that we're designing in the studio. Flower arranging is one of the ways that we can learn about these plants and about how incredibly valuable they are and they can be in the garden.
Rather than seeing them all as, you know, a weed, all of these plants that turn up of their own accord, we see the opportunity that they provide. We're still trying to come up with a name for them. Uninvited plants, volunteer plants, most of them actually are really beneficial. There's so many that are actually very beautiful, and because we are gardeners, and that does govern quite a lot of our decision making.
Clematis, mugwort, fleabane, oxeye, wild carrot, yarrow, cow parsley, fireweed, bramble, dog rose, herb robert, St John's wort, hemp, agrimony, self-heal, poppy and feverfew, to name a few. And this, which is wild rocket. So delicate, beautiful.